So today I want to go ahead and talk about Battlefield once again, and specifically Season 2 content, along with some other topics that I did touch on in a previous video and some new ones. I just want to start by saying that I'm a huge Battlefield fan. I've been playing Battlefield for almost 20 years now. That's right. I'm an old man, and I still love it. So when you hear me going off about these different topics, I want everybody to know it comes from a place of love and caring. It's seen something that I've loved and cherished over the years, this treasure of a game, um, just go downhill. And let's just start off with season two, the content, complete disappointment. Okay, I'm going to start with the positives after saying that. Positives are the weapons are cool, the little bird's cool, the stuff that they did add is fun. And I love the new map, Contaminated. It is fantastic. The little bird is a ton of fun to fly, just as it was in previous games. And they did a really great job on this. And I mean that. I love the layout, and it's a beautiful map. And the Fog of War, which they have as a limited time mode, I'm not too sure why. Why are we doing limited time modes here, Battlefield? Just add it, make it part of the game. I mean, I understand limited time modes for like Halloween, Christmas, special holidays and stuff. And I get it. There's a Chinese New Year, but let's just be frank. None of us here really care about that. We just want new content. So as far as the Fog of War goes, it's actually a lot more fun. I'll be fair. I didn't think it was actually going to be all that great until I got into it and tried it out. And it's actually fun. You hallucinate, whatnot. And if you don't wear your gas mask and you need a mask and you need to be able to resupply your filters in it. But at this point, I think Battlefield's on life support. Let's just be frank. We got Eastwood back in November of 2025 last year. We got Contaminated this map this month in February. And yeah, there's been a spike in players right now that have come back to try this new content out. But I think that's slowly going to die down once again. And then come March, they're going to release another map and we'll get another spike and then it's going to die down. Also, at some point, they're going to release, I believe, Gold Mud Railway from older Battlefield games like Battlefield 4, which I think will be awesome. And I look forward to that. But the point that I'm making, if you exclude Gold Mud Railway, since it was already a previous map, you can't really call it new, that is 3 maps in 6 months. I have never seen that in a Battlefield game. 6 months, and I get 3 maps? So usually, in previous games, you get DLCs, or it'd be every 3, maybe 4 months, you get 4 maps. Tons of content. There were some times, Battlefield 1, great example, we got 6 maps and a bunch of content, guns, so on and so forth. And we got 3 maps. That's just devastating to me. Once again, I love this map. It's a great map, but we need more. The other thing we need is proximity chat. Even if it's just on our team, meaning the enemy can't hear us, so we can't hear them, be kind of cool if it was both ways. That's what I would ultimately like. But if we could settle just for a proximity chat on our own team, this way I could talk to what I call blueberries, the blue dots that are not inside my squad, which are green dots. That would be fantastic to be able to communicate them outside of trying to use a chat wheel, or maybe at least expand on the chat wheel at very least. Get out of a vehicle, get in, just like you used to do. That would be fantastic. And I'm going to touch on some other things. I'd love teamwork. Teamwork would be great, which is kind of hard to do when you have open classes. What I see a lot on the gas mask, the Fog of War map, is a lot of people are just running support so they can just keep refilling their gas masks. I go down and I just get, 6 medics all by me that just run off the objective, don't revive me, because, there's no incentive to be doing any teamwork. It's just every man for himself. So I think the closed classes, bringing that back would be fantastic. And like I said before, then if you want to use, let's say, an LMG, you're going to be a medic. You're going to be the support class. If you want to use an SMG, a submachine gun, you're going to be an engineer. This would also prevent, everybody running around with rockets, trying to shoot all the new choppers down, all the tanks. on the maps that are not Fog of War, just the regular contaminated. I think that that would help a lot. And obviously, something that a lot of the community's been saying as well is constant servers. Servers, once again, to where when I get into a map with an entire team, an entire platoon, all 32 people, I should not have to now reset that lobby and go wait for another one to fill up. And then maybe it doesn't fill up. Now I'm getting bots in there. Bring back constant servers. And once again, I've heard the excuse that, well, we took it away to, prevent toxic people. That's why we have mute. That's why there's a block button. And ultimately, you can always leave that lobby and go find another constant server. And of course, server browsers. Added it to Portal. That's great. But let's bring it over to the official servers. That would be fantastic. It would also help with teamwork then too, because now you're going to be getting to know these people that are staying in these lobbies, that are hanging out in there. And obviously the map sizes, they need to be bigger. Since they've been smaller, you've also decreased the timers, Battlefield. So now we're getting through the content, roughly maybe 2 or 3 maps in an hour. In previous Battlefield games, it would take us, I don't know, 45 minutes, maybe longer, especially Battlefield 1 with operations. But even the older games like Battlefield 4, whatnot, sometimes matches would go on for an hour in one map. That would help a lot. It would also help with people not dying so often. It could be a little bit more strategic, tactical. I hear the complaint, well, they're too big and I have to run everywhere. Grab a vehicle, man. Grab a quad, grab a Jeep, grab something, a motorcycle now, and ride over to the next objective. I mean, they're too big thing. No, I don't think so. That's what Battlefield is. It's big maps. Yeah, we've had some smaller maps, and I'm not against a few, but man, have they really decreased the size of a lot of these maps? And I also think that creates bad spawns as well. Part of it is just why do I spawn into a tank and instantly die? That's still happening in Season 2. That really needs to be corrected. Don't let me spawn in. I mean, if they're in danger like it says, then I shouldn't be able to spawn in on my teammate. And I'm glad they took pity on us and that we're able to at least stay with our squad mates. So if I find maybe 2 or 3 other guys and we're all rocking together, mic'd up, we can stay with those guys. But for some reason, I can't stay with my whole platoon. Kind of crazy to me. Also, weather dynamics. It'd be great to have some weather. Maybe make it rain every so often. Maybe dawn or dusk. Maybe add a little fog. A little something. That would be fantastic too. You could do that to the existing maps. And then maybe in future maps. That would be great. And it's awesome that they brought back destruction. It should have never went away in 2042, but it's back. But I'd like to see more of it, like entire objectives being changed, like in older games. For example, maybe there's a dam, you shoot a bunch of rockets at it, and now the water comes down and floods maybe 2 or 3 of the objectives. They've changed. Shanghai on Battlefield 4 is a great example, giant skyscraper. Also, where's the water? Where's our boats and stuff? Are they coming? Is that going to be a thing? Maybe at some point? It'd be great to have like some sort of Navy element to it. Not too sure where that is, where that's going. And once again, Battlefield, focus on your core audience. Us guys that have been playing forever, it seems like you're trying to make this game accessible to everybody. That's not how shooters work. And when you do that, you actually just kind of take away from the game. We want some realism. Yeah, it's a video game. Not everything's supposed to be exactly real, but time to kill should be a little bit better. Getting these constant locks on helicopters, on vehicles, where you're just getting painted over and over and over again, and especially when you're flying like a foot or 2 off the ground and you're still getting locked on, that needs to be corrected at some point. And uniforms. Stay away from the bright-colored uniforms. None of us want rainbow-colored uniforms. We don't want bright colors. Stick with traditional military uniforms. If I'm in the desert, give me a brown one. If I'm, if you guys are going to bring some water and Navy elements to it, maybe some blue to blend in with the water, green for the forest. Just stick to traditional military uniforms. I promise you can't go wrong from there. And get away from this live service, these microtransactions. Maybe a little bit, but it seems like you guys are really focused on it and get rid of it. And I personally would also gut the BR. Get rid of the Battle Royale. Didn't work in Battlefield 5, and it's not really working here. Focus more on the $70 that everybody paid for this game and give us the content. Give us the maps. That's all we want. And try to limit the modes. When you add 20 modes, you're breaking up the community. Keep us together, keep the teamwork together, and limit the modes. We don't need a bunch of modes. To me, Conquest is Battlefield. Once again, it's in its name. Large scale battles on a battlefield. Choppers, jets, tanks, jeeps, just total chaos everywhere, destruction. Oh man, love it. Focus on that. And of course, the SMGs. Let's try to tone those down a little bit. Getting lasered 200-300 meters out is just awful. And of course, there's some other things I could discuss, but I think those are the key things right now. And we need content, Battlefield. I keep saying it, and the whole community keeps saying it. And according to some media posts on X and other platforms, you guys hear us loud and clear. Prove it, because you definitely didn't this season, and it's kind of a letdown. And I'm going to keep playing Battlefield, and I hope you guys listen, because I know in past games it did take you guys some time to get things right, and you usually did. Battlefield 4 is a great example. That game was pretty much unplayable when it first came out. You couldn't even join your friends, and it took them a few months, but they got it right. And then it just kept getting better and better, and that's what I like to see for this one. Let's focus on those maps. Let's focus on the uniforms, the content, bigger, badder, destruction, chaos. That's all we want. My name's Tripod Lives, and I'll see you on the battlefield. This is the pod.